Welcome to JMR Talks. Today we will discuss about Dr. Arvind Goyal. Many of us might have read in the newspapers that here is a gentleman who donated 600 crore worth property to the UP government to be used for the providing educational and health facilities, to the poor as such. We also heard about, Acharya Vinod Bhave's Bhutan movement when he, voluntarily requested the people to donate their excess land so that, that could be distributed to the local poor and all that. In fact, Daan is, a very essential part of, our Indian philosophy, Indian culture, attending to the needy and all that. Now, who is this Dr. Arvind Goyal? Dr. Arvind Goyal is a medical practitioner from Moradabad. Just by retaining one house, he donated the remaining entire property, worth about 600 crores, and he wanted the government to use it, for providing education and health to the poor. In fact, this property, has been created by his work, during the last 50 years or so. In fact, this is not the, the time, he took this decision. This decision was taken over by him about 25 years ago. Once, he happened to board a train where he found somebody, without, proper clothing, without proper, chappals and all that, and he was, shivering, with cold and all that. Then he gave, pair of shoes and some, blanket, etc. But somehow, he himself, could not, bear that, chill as such. So at that time itself, Dr. Goyal decided that I must do something, in that. Now, in fact, he has set up more than 100 educational institutions, old age homes, hospitals in the state of Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra. And most importantly, he adopted 50 villages in Moradabad during the COVID time, to which he provided free medicine and food to the people. Now, he comes from an excellent background. Both his parents were freedom fighters. In fact, his brother-in-law Sushil was a chief election commissioner. What impressed me about his donation is that he wanted this entire property, or the proceeds of the property, to be used for providing education and health, to the poor. Now, what is so special about education and health? An economy like India. Now, when we look at Finland, we find that education played a key role in the economic development of the state. A sound mind in a sound body. When a person is educated, he'll have better employment opportunities. When he has better employment opportunities, he'll be able to look after his health and all that. So impressed by his good work, he was honored by our former presidents like Pradab Da and Pratibha Patil ji, Dr. APJ Kalam sir, and just now outgoing President Kovind ji. Now, this Daan is a symbolic old practices of our we Indians as such. We had the rich tradition of wherein wealthy people setting up schools, setting up hospitals, old age homes, etc., etc. For instance, look at Indian Institute of Science. It was actually Jamshedji Tata's idea, but Mysore Maharaja was kind enough to come forward to donate about more than 300 hectares of land as such. So ultimately, with the collaboration of Jamshedji Tata, Government of India, and Mysore Maharaja, Indian Institute of Science has taken the shape, and look at the kind of status it enjoys in the whole world. In fact, when we look at Tatas, they served as a custodian of public good, and they have created always positive social impact. Now look at their Tata Sons, the holding group. 66% of their profits go for charity. On the other hand, look at Tata Memorial Hospital, another venture of Tata Sons. How this Tata Memorial Hospital took shape. Meherbai Tata died in 1932 as she was suffering from leukemia. So at that time, Dorabji Tata, got an idea. Why not set up a hospital for that? And Nauroji continued his efforts. But ultimately, Tata Memorial Hospital, where many of the cancer patients from the nook and corner of the country, get treatment, took a shape on 28 to 1941 in a 7-story building at Parel. The beauty of Tata Memorial Hospital is that 60% of the patients are provided free treatment as such. Now, when we talk about Dr. Arvind Goyal, I also want to call recollect the contribution of Deepika Mundle of Mumbai. Now this great lady came to know that this Tata Memorial Hospital is getting a lot of patients. They don't have enough space to set up a chemotherapy center as such. So what she has done? She has donated her ancestral property of 30,000 square feet to set up a chemotherapy center. Now, why education? As I was mentioning that education improves better what we call employment opportunities. It creates a what we call informed what we call public. There's a saying that a country is poor because it is poor. When a country is poor, what happens? It will not be able to what we call provide enough income what we call to the people to what we call sustain their health. So when they are not able to sustain their health, etc., their contribution to what we call generate what we call income will get what we call limited. In other words, a man is poor because he is poor. Gunnar Myrdal calls this a what we call vicious circle. And the best way of what we call breaking the vicious circle is to provide for what we call education and employment opportunities. When people are what we call educated, they live a healthy and what we call quality lifestyle. Now look at the what we call latest Oxfam report of 2021. Quite what we call disgusting and what we call saddening to hear that the top 10% of Indian population, they hold 77% of the what we call national health. Further, between 2018 to 2022, India has produced 70 new millionaires every day. Now, the prelude to the what I call constitution says that we are committed to provide a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and the country is committed to the what I call welfare of the people as such. So when we hear contribution of people like Dr. Arvind Goyal, Deepika Mundle, it's very heartening. In fact, I pray to the Almighty for their health and welfare as such, because these are the people whom we can call as a social entrepreneurs. They are moved by the what I call pride of the people and come forward to do their best so that the well-being of the what I call downtrodden, oppressed, suppressed sections could be what I call improved as such. So while once again what I call thanking the contribution of these great what I call individuals, I could only say Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you.